Today, Intel's finally paying for their negligence, Nvidia's worst nightmare. AMD's monster APU can beat a 4070, and the RTX 6000 cards are finally going MCM. Welcome everyone to Gamer Melt. First up for today, if you saw my recent video on Intel's fix for their ongoing 13th and 14th gen CPU issues, you know that it's not a fix at all. Because if your CPU is having issues, it means that it's permanently damaged, and there's obviously nothing that could fix that, so it's really just to prevent more CPUs from being damaged. Well, it now looks like the company is set to be in a lot of trouble, and it's forcing them to make changes. Starting things off, the law firm Abington Cole & Ellery are gearing up for a class action lawsuit. They've added a page to their website and are currently taking submissions from users affected by the instability issues. This is of course the investigation period, so it hasn't been submitted yet, but they have to gather all the evidence and prepare it, which can take a ton of time. Still, this is a big deal, and in fact, shortly after this went live, Intel announced that they were extending their warranty for 13th and 14th gen desktop processors. What do you know? When you threaten a company with a lawsuit, they magically start doing the right thing. They didn't share all the details, but according to the announcement, the company plans to share more in the coming days. What's wild is that they're still selling these CPUs. They have a very clear defect that causes them to self-destruct until they release the update, and Intel's just like, yeah, that's fine. Luckily, with this lawsuit looming, Intel will likely have to make this right. And now that Intel's being forced to fix this issue, you've got to fix your data security problem with today's sponsor, Private Internet Access, my favorite VPN, because they do everything a great VPN does and more at a fraction of the price. At this point, it's probably paid for itself because I can watch some of my favorite shows on Netflix that I never could before. Do me a favor. If you're in the US, hop on your Netflix account and try to look up The Office. You'll notice that it's not there. Well, if I turn on Private Internet Access, pick a country outside of the US, and I'm instantly able to watch it. Basically, streaming services have shows that are only available in certain regions, but a VPN reroutes your internet data through one of their servers so it looks like you're somewhere else. This is also how they protect your data, by taking that connection and sending it through an encrypted tunnel, so you know your data is safe. And today, when you visit my link in the description, you'll get an unreal 83% off, bringing it down to just $2.03 a month and 4 free months. You really can't beat that price. So check that out down in the description below. Next up for today, Intel isn't the only company in big trouble right now. According to a new report, the Department of Justice just launched not one, but 2 probes into Nvidia regarding potential antitrust issues. The first investigation is set to look at Nvidia's acquisition of Run.ai. For those who don't know, Nvidia bought the startup for a whopping $700 million back in April. We don't really know much about this, but they're likely wanting to look at potential anti-competitive issues with the purchase. The second probe relates to complaints from multiple AI companies, including AMD. Specifically, it's examining whether Nvidia used their market dominance to pressure cloud providers into buying their products. Apparently, there are claims that Nvidia overcharges customers for certain equipment if they buy AI chips from competitors. Obviously, these are pretty big claims, but given everything that happened with Nvidia's GeForce Partner program a few years back, I really wouldn't put it past them. Estimates say that Nvidia controls between 70 and 95% of the AI chip market. And while I've defended them a little in this, I mean, they did essentially create the market. They made the right investments years before others, so obviously they're ahead, but to then use that in this way is unacceptable. And next up, we have a couple huge stories on AMD's upcoming GPU destroying APU. I'm talking specs, performance, and more. The story comes from multiple leaked documents from AMD and potentially even ASUS. They are of course on AMD's upcoming Strix Halo APU, as well as an upcoming ASUS product that comes with it. Starting things off, we have confirmation on package size. According to this, the APU has a total die size of 460mm squared, with the GPU itself measuring in at an unreal 307mm², making this one beefy integrated GPU. Next, we have a slide regarding different power configurations. Specifically, they can be configured to 55 watts, 85 watts, or even 120 watts. And these are TDP numbers for the entire APU. It then breaks down the power usage under that, though as you can see, these are based on pre-silicon estimates. Not only that, but it shows a 256-bit bus with 8,533 megatransfers per second LPDDR5X memory. Next, we actually have a comparison to a system equipped with the codename GN21, which is actually an RTX 4070 laptop GPU. Now what's wild is that the leak from Moore's Law is Dead showed that the top-end model can compete with the 4070. We are of course talking about a notebook 4070, but still, that's not bad at all. Finally, there is some documentation that shows a 2025 version of ASUS's ROG Z13 Flow gaming tablet. Here you can see the design schematics of the upcoming tablet along with multiple thermal tests using a new design based around Strix Halo. There's even some more power information for the ROG Z13, which shows the CPU as a TDP of 30 watts with a full 80 watts going to the GPU. At the end of the day, Strix Halo could seriously be a game-changing APU. And lastly for today, Nvidia looks set to finally release a multi-chip module design for their RTX 6000 gaming GPUs. Now before you say it, I know the 5000 series still isn't out yet, but don't forget that chip makers take years to design, develop, and manufacture graphics cards. So Nvidia definitely has a very good idea of what's coming to their 6000 series already. Either way, this story comes from a new video by leaker Reg Gaming Tech, where he discusses Nvidia's next-gen RTX 6000 series, codenamed Rubin. Now, we don't know for sure if it's set to be the 6000 cards, but that's what we'll call them for now. What's interesting about this is that Nvidia has been working on MCM-based GPUs for years now, yet it was AMD that was first to bring these to the consumer market. With that said, AMD's version doesn't actually have two compute modules in one. Instead, they just separate out the cache and memory interface. But according to Reg Gaming Tech, Nvidia's is going to be very different from AMD, so we may finally get a real MCM design, meaning two separate graphics processors built into one. If anyone can do it, it likely would be Nvidia given their massive interconnect advancements for AI. According to Reg Gaming Tech, only the higher-end 6000 cards would get the MCM treatment, which is understandable. Hopefully the use of MCM designs can actually help bring down the price a bit as well. But for that, I guess time, as always, will tell. So while that does it for today, how much do you think an MCM RTX 6090 would be? Let me know down in the comments below. And don't forget to fix your security issues with private internet access down in the description below. And as always, have a great day.